I don't need them. Then I'll come here to, then I'll take all these other ones out. I don't actually need these two. So now let's quickly see how we can actually link between documents, linking between documents. We all will be combining both HTML and CSS. And then now we are talking about linking between two documents. Two things are involved. Are you getting it now? When you say a link is actually a clickable text that can either be image or text that a user can use to navigate to another document. Are you getting it? To another document or another web page. And these pages, what's it called? The link that we're actually talking about is categorized into two. We have the absolute URL and the relative URL. Are you getting it? The URL actually stands for Uniform Resource Locator. So then the difference between the absolute and the relative is that the absolute URL actually specified a location to a file path on the same root folder. What I'm simply saying here is that the absolute URL that is actually the same root as document. For example, I have index.php, I have index.html, sorry, I have about.html. So I want to, from my index.html, access the about. So this is what is actually referred to the absolute URL, in the sense that you are accessing a file in the same folder as the other file. Then the relative is actually referring to the one that has to do with the external. Are you getting it? Which is, you are trying to access a particular file that is not within your root folder. Is actually an external link. Just like, for example, now in your site and you are trying to access a maybe facebook.com. Facebook.com is a separate website on its own, which means you are going out of your website to access such websites. So whenever you want to actually declare a link, you make use of the anchor element. And the anchor element actually comprises of the open anchor tag, and the close anchor tag. Then in between the open anchor tag and the close anchor tag, we have your anchor text. Let's say, for example, now I want to link a home, just like having here, just like we are having frequent ask question here. So now whenever you click on this frequent FAQs, it should lead you to, okay, now then I said this home that we are seeing here, the home that you are seeing here is the anchor text that is actually going to display on the home screen of the end user. So for example, let me go to my code. I have I'm on my code. I open my anchor tag. We also have Emmet short link, so I'm going to explain it at the end of this tutorial. So now I have my A class. I can just type A and hit enter, and the system will automatically generate the anchor tag. This one here is actually the anchor open element and the anchor close element. Inside the open anchor tag, we now have the hypertext reference. Reference. Then as you open your hypertext reference, you attach an equal to it with an open and close quote, whereby the hypertext reference value will fall into. That is the link that you are actually linking to. You know, I have an about us and about.html. That will be my hypertext reference value. That will be my hypertext reference value. Then my anchor text will fall in between here. So like this now, I am having an absolute URL because it's actually linking to a document that is hosted in my root folder. So if I go back to my website now and I refresh, I should see an about with it comes in the default format, having what's it called, underline and a blue color, so now if I click on this now, I should be able to, so that is how to declare an absolute URL. Then now let's see how you can actually create the other one, which is referred to an absolute a relative URL. So what you do is very simple. Just you hit enter, the system automatically generates it. Then you now type your HTTP. Are you getting it? HTTPS forward slash maybe Facebook. Let's say facebook.com. Then in between here, our anchor text will be Facebook. And then I'll just refresh. I should be able to see Facebook. So once I click on it, as you can see, the system has automatically taken me to facebook.com as it is shown, as it is being shown here. Are you getting it? So that is the difference between your relative and your relative URL and your absolute URL.